Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie. This is my fourth video on my still unnamed channel, and unlike what my mother said, this is the Stephanie Show. The Stephanie Show starring Nova. I know that's why you're here. On today's video, I'm going to tell you about the rest of my sales in April. This is kind of like the best of the rest. I'm just going to go over my sales that are above $20, unless it's something that was really special that I wanted to talk to you about. In April, I had 119 sales, and my profit on that was $3,325. Okay, and I'm just a part-time reseller, and so let's just get started. Okay, so my first item here is this new Metra Axis turn-on interface. I'm not sure exactly what this, honestly, but I found it at a bin store for only $1. I scanned it, and I found out that I could sell it for $75. This took me a few months to sell, but $1 to $75, that's pretty amazing. This next item was a side of the road find. I love picking up stuff on the side of the road. This is a vintage Monkey Pod Capiz shell snack tray, and it has these 4 different trays that can make a circle, just like you see here with these Capiz shells, and there's wood on the other side. And it did have a flaw, and of course I disclosed that in the listing, but $30 that I found on the side of the road. Okay, this next item here is these new home pattern cams. These are for a sewing machine. So inside, and again, I wasn't exactly sure what this was, but you know, thanks to Google, you can look up anything. But inside this tin were these patterns that you could put on a sewing machine. And again, I'm not 100% sure exactly what this does, but that's the great thing about reselling. You do not have to know exactly what everything is. You just have to know how to Google. Anyways, I paid $6 for the set, and it sold for $45. Next up is this Ralph Lauren Wiltshire Stripe Euro Sham that I sold for $34.95. I paid $2 for it at a thrift store. Here's another side of the roads find. I found a bunch of clothes on the side of the road. Took them home and I washed them. And this sold for $19.88. This is a Billabong long sleeve shirt. And this sold in April, so we're almost out of long sleeve season, but people are still buying these things apparently. But again, almost 20 bucks I found on the side of the road that someone was just throwing out. This was in that same bag of clothes. This is a Rumple Men's alcohol long sleeve shirt, or short sleeve shirt, excuse me, and that sold for $29.88. This is a Cinderella glass slipper shoes. Size 8, brand new with box, that I got at a yard sale for $10. These are really pretty. Somebody that doesn't have Flintstone feet like me could wear these. Be great for cosplay. And I didn't include that keyword in my title up here. Okay, this is a Michael Kors belt. I really like this style. This one almost took me, I don't know, almost a year to sell, unfortunately. I'm not sure if I would pick up another one of these again. I probably only paid like $2 for it, and it sold for $25.88. This next item here I paid $10 for at a thrift store, and it sold, I think, in about a month. It's a vintage mirrored glass and brass curio case, and I don't know if you can tell from this picture right here about how big it is. It's not very big at all. It's something that you can either put on like a tabletop or you can hang it, and it has this really cool shape. Right now, this 80s, 90s aesthetic is really in, so people are collecting these things to put their little miniatures in, or crystals, or look, I don't even know what. But somebody paid $120 for this. And let me see, here's the measurements here. It's not very big at all, only about 13.5 inches. But somebody paid $120 plus shipping for this. So if you see anything like this, people are definitely looking for these. They also make good jewelry cases or jewelry displays. Okay, this is a Wii Sports Resort game. For some reason, this game is really popular right now. I paid $5 for it. And this one that I found only had the sleeve. It didn't have the jewel case. And I sold it for $25. This is a side of the road find. This is a Kraft Singles plastic container. And I just wanted to show you this because you just never know what people are going to spend their money on. Somebody spent $20 plus almost $5 in shipping for a plastic cheese container. That was probably free at the grocery store at some point in time. And this sold in a matter of hours. So this is just not like something I held on to forever. This sold in a few hours. $20. This is a Lisa Frank notebook. And this was a more recent one. And you can tell because on the back here, it has... it says about going online to the website. So it's got to be a more current one. This is not a vintage one. If this would have been a vintage one, it would have been worth a lot more. I did put this one on auction just because I wasn't sure what to price it at. So when I do an auction, I start out my minimum bid at the least I'm willing to take. So I put this one at $25. I only got one bid, but it sold for 25 bucks. And I paid $1 for this notebook. So that's still pretty incredible. And this is an Eagle Creek duffel bag luggage that I paid $6.40 for at a thrift store. And I'd never heard of this Eagle Creek brand before, but I could tell by looking at it that it was a good quality. This type of material here is called ripstop. And so $6.40 to $149.88 plus shipping somebody paid for this. Okay, this next one is a House of Lloyd Angel Around the World tree topper. And in this front photo, you'll see, and I've talked about this before, if you have something that lights up or should do something and you can show it in a static picture, show that in your cover photo. That way when people are looking through, they don't just see this plain angel, they see the light up angel. So if they're looking for that particular item, they're gonna click on yours first. So this one I paid $3 for, and she had the box, and that sold for $50. Now this next item, it looks pretty plain. If you just look at the item itself, it's a Dixie Cup Dispenser, but I had the box here, and you could tell it's probably from, the 90s just by looking at the box. So 1995, vintage Dixie Cup Dispenser. Some people just want the boxes for the looks. They want them for props. I don't know. Somebody paid $40 for this white plastic piece. 40 bucks. Oh, this was so cute. This is a Simba Fanny Pack. Unfortunately, it was only for kids. It didn't even fit my waist. But somebody paid $50 for this super cute fanny pack from The Lion King. And that was only $2 that I bought him at the thrift store for. Okay, I bought this at the thrift store again, and I paid $3 for it. I wasn't sure exactly what it was or what kind of design this was when I saw it, but it was only $3. It was super bright colors. I just loved the design, loved the colors of it, and I thought somebody else would like it too. So when I got home, I just looked up what these animals would be called, and look, I'm not even going to try to pronounce what this is, but it's Mexican folk art was the closest I could come up with. And I sold that for $75. And I just came up with that price based on what other handmade items had sold for. And that I think this took about a month to sell, but $3 to $75. Okay, this is a set of Mickey Mouse salt and pepper grinders. These are grinders, not shakers. And I paid $15 for the set of this. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace, so I bought this locally. And I sold it on eBay for $74.88. This is a Pillow Fort Zebra wall head, and I've seen several of these, and I've sold several of these, all different kinds of animals. I've had a bear, a tiger, and a lion before, and they always sell for around $25 to $30. And I paid $4 for this. Up next is this sign that says, "One shoe can change your life," from Cinderella. And I just imagine somebody with a Carrie Bradshaw style shoe closet possibly bought this. I just love this. But this was $47.88 is what I sold it for. I paid $4 for it. And yeah. Okay, this is a Cocoa Motion hot chocolate maker. And I paid $8 for this, and it sold for $49.88 in April. Apparently people are still, having hot chocolate in April. I don't know. I live in Florida. I know it's cold other places. So if you have stuff like that, keep it listed. You just never know who's looking for it and what the weather's like in other parts of the world. Okay, this is a New Era Mickey Mouse hat that I sold for $27.88. And this one did take a little bit to sell. It's, wasn't too special, but I only paid 74 cents for it. Okay, This only sold for $7.88. I just wanted to talk about this because this is Ikea spare parts, and I've sold tons of Ikea spare parts before. We redid our kitchen a couple years ago, and I had these different odds and ends from, our kitchen remodel, and I didn't know what to do with them. Didn't know if I should just donate them or what. So I decided to list them on eBay, and I've sold probably hundreds of dollars in just spare parts from Ikea. So if you have anything like that, people are looking for them. And this is a Ziploc pack of containers that I sold for $28.88 and I paid $3. Okay, this is a Phillips Blu-Ray 3D Blu-Ray player with the remote. And I paid $10 for this and it sold for $75. And this sold in a matter of days. And this is a Pure Leaf gunpowder tea, and it had expired last year, and I paid $1 for this at a bin store, and this one bottle of tea sold for $31.88. This is another side of the road find. I actually had 7 of these, I believe, and I sold this lot of 2 for $10, and then I sold other ones here and there for $5 a pop. So if you see stuff and parts even, people will buy them to replace things that they need. So $7 times 5, 7 of these racks times $5, that's $35 again on the side of the road. And I knew the model because I actually had the wine cooler that I picked up the entire wine cooler, and it didn't work anymore, so I just harvested these shelves out of it. Sure enough, somebody wanted them. Okay, and this isn't the best pictures that I have on this listing here, these sailboat wall hangings, but I had these sailboats listed separately on 2 separate listings, and a buyer messaged me, asked if I would sell them together with combined shipping. So I paid $8 for the set of these wall hangings. They were really, really cool. Okay, so that's all my eBay sales. So at eBay alone, I sold 58 items for a total of $1,781 profit. Okay, up next I have Mercari, and I'm not going to show you that many listings from Mercari because most of those were toys and plush that I had sold in April. So I don't have that many things that are, in the other kind of category for me, but I'm going to show you what I got. So in Mercari, I sold 31 items total, and so let's get started. So this first item here is a Santa fishing advent calendar that I paid about $5 for at an estate sale, and he did have all of his little things to go in the pocket. This one was really cool. Be great for a beach house or someone by the lake or something like that. But he did have all of the little pocket things. And if you do find an advent calendar, you want to make sure that they have everything that goes with it. This next one is a set of 5 Rock Band games that I paid $5 for the set for. So these weren't worth a whole lot selling individually on their own, so I decided to lot them all up together, and they sold for $35. Okay, up next I have this Sears pressure cooker that I got at a yard sale for $2. I just loved the color of it. It did have some flaws, as you can see, but somebody still wanted it. Maybe for, Cracker Barrel style decor. I don't know, but they paid $40 plus shipping for it. And this is a Scrapbook Factory PC program that I paid $3 for at a thrift store. I don't know who's still using this. I think it takes Windows 95 or something like that. Windows 7. I mean, that's pretty old. I don't know who still has this computer, but somebody does. People are still buying these programs. This sold pretty quickly also. So $3 into $35. I paid $8 for this Microsoft Ergonomic keyboard. These always go quickly. So if you see them, get them. Even if the numbers or the letters are a little worn off, like this one, they still sell well. So this one sold for $38. This is a Pack Safe City Safe Anti-Theft Purse that I paid $4 for. This one took quite a few months to sell, maybe almost a year. But at the time that I bought it, it was pre-pandemic, and obviously nobody was traveling during that time. I would still pick these kinds of things up. The Pack Safe bags, the Bagalini bags, especially now that people are traveling again. So I paid $4 for this, and it sold for $36. This is a Cavu hat that I paid $2 for, and it sold overnight for $30. This is a Power Rangers Zeo lunchbox from 1996. I paid $3 for it, and it sold for $35. Okay, for Poshmark sales. So the first item that I sold was the Smithsonian Institute Red Cherry Blossom Robe. It was kind of like a kimono style almost. And I paid $3 for this at a thrift store. I do not pick up that much clothes. I do not like listing them. But when I'm at a thrift store and I just can't find enough of what I do like to sell, which is mostly toys and plush, I'll look in the pajama section first just because they're typically easier to list. And just pajamas are a whole lot easier to list for me. There's not a whole lot of trends and fads, so I don't find that they sit around as long as, you know, say like a t-shirt or a pair of jeans or something like that. Anyway, so this sold for $40. Okay, this came out of my my overbuying at Target. I had accidentally bought 2 of these for myself and discovered too late that I couldn't return it. But I paid $2.14 for this, and I sold it for $15 on Poshmark. Not a huge sale, but what I thought that was notable is that I sold it in April. So if you're thinking, you know, it's too early to sell Halloween, no, there's people that are neurotic like me that are thinking about Halloween right now that want to start planning ahead. Especially because a lot of people didn't do Halloween last year. They may be doing it up big this year, so be thinking about that as you're outsourcing. This is a Lysol no-touch dispenser system. They don't make these anymore, but if you can find them at the thrift store, they always sell quickly. I paid $3.20 for the set of these. Now, individually, they probably wouldn't have been worth selling on their own, but because I was able to find a set, it was worth my time. So these sold for $30 for the set of 2 dispensers, and they did work, and they're easy to test. All I have to do is put batteries in the bottom and see if it makes a noise like it's going to dispense. These are supposed to have a refill container, and obviously I didn't have those. But if you did, they'd be worth more. So $30 I got for that. Okay, up next is the Chala Sunflower credit card wallet. And the reason I priced this so low is because it did have a flaw near the zipper, and I did disclose that to the buyer. But this sold in a matter of days. But if you find these types of wallets or handbags, they are highly desirable, and you will get more if they are in better condition than mine. And I also sold several blankets on Poshmark. This is an Aiden and Ane monkey muslin blanket, and this one sold for $30. I paid $2 for. I also paid $2 for this lion one, and this one here I paid $5 for. This is a Parents' Choice Fox baby blanket. And on this one here, I got a lot of lowball offers. I had a lot of people that were saying, oh, well, you can get this for Walmart for $10. Well, you know, if that was true, then you'd go to Walmart and you wouldn't be looking on Poshmark for the same blanket. So if you get messages like that, just realize that you probably have something that people are wanting. They're just maybe not wanting to spend the money, just waiting for the correct buyer. So this one probably took about a month and a half to sell, but $5 into $35. Okay, and up last, I have Facebook Marketplace sales. And I think you're going to be surprised with some of these things that have sold on Facebook Marketplace. If you're not selling on Facebook Marketplace, I highly recommend it. The fees are the lowest out of all the platforms that I list on. Okay, so up first, we have this Pyrex coffee pot percolator. It's a glass coffee pot that I sold for $35. I paid $5 for it. I have the set of Guitar Hero guitars. Now, if I have 2 that go to the same system, I do like to bundle them up together, and they always go quickly. I paid $6 for the set of these, and it sold for $60. Here's another Wii Sports game that I paid $5 for, and this one sold for $30. And this one was really surprising to me that it sold on Facebook Marketplace, but at this point in time, nothing really surprises me about what sells there. This is a Circo baseball baby blanket. It's from Target. I paid $1 for this at a consignment sale, and it did have some flaws on the satin, but this is a pretty sought after blanket, and the way I'm able to tell that is I was able to look at the previous solds, and that's how I base all my prices off. I go off of previous solds versus what's currently available. Now this one is rare. I did use the word rare because there were no others listed at the time that I listed this one. But $1, and I sold this baby blanket for $80. I mean, that's pretty incredible. $80 for a baby blanket. Hey, this is an HBO cassette player. that I paid $3 for, and it sold for $45. I think this sold overnight. If it wasn't overnight, it was super quickly, and I did have the box for it. But it was just a plain box, so I didn't, really have that in the picture. But it was a brand new cassette player that sold for $45. Now this same exact cassette player was they have on eBay several other listings, not my own. So if you see listings on another platform, think about listing on other platforms. I cross-list everything. If you don't know how to cross-list or how to cross-list quickly, I do have a video on how I cross-list without a listing service, and it's super easy. It takes maybe a minute to list on all the platforms that I list on. So I do eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and Facebook Marketplace, and I list pretty much everything everywhere. If it fits on that platform, if it's allowed on that platform, I list it there. Okay, this is a PGA Wii game. I paid $5 for this game, and it sold for $40. I think the prices on this game have kind of cooled a little bit now that the Masters is over. But if you see it, Tiger Woods, Masters games, it's probably still worth picking up. Okay, and this last item here is a Cuisinart stainless steel fry pan that I paid $7 for at a thrift store. I do not find that many pots and pans. Unfortunately, pretty much everything that's at my thrift store is old Tefal, disgusting Tefal that has, the non-stick coating that's coming off. I really only look for stainless steel quality pans, and the way that you can generally tell that is if you pick it up and it feels heavy. You don't want to pick it up and it's super light and it feels like a kid's toy. You don't want it to feel like a tin toy. Okay, so that's the rest of my sales from April. I sold 119 items between all of those platforms for a total of $3,325 in profit. How was your April? Please let me know down in the comments. What were some of your favorite sales? If you learned something, please like and subscribe to this channel. I think my next video is going to be out about baby blankets. You saw a few of those in this video. I have sold many others before, so I think I want to do a whole video on that. If you have some ideas for videos of things you'd like to see me do, please comment down below. Okay, I guess that's all for this video. Bye! Are you awake? Bye!